Never burn out. Pray the oil in my lamp never burn out. May the fires of my altar never burn out. Yahweh is my strength, never burn out. Okay. Set apart the mode. Study the rules, I apply the codes. Carrying the burden, walking down the road. Sharpening my weapon before I hit the door. Neck cast wide, trying to save souls. Killing all giants, stepping on toes. Killing all the lies told by the reverend. Yahweh Shai coming back at any second. Repent, no time for idle conversation. Rehearsing righteous acts, pray I make it. Listen to the words, hear the truth. The Creator is black, we are Jews. Chains broken, people waking up. We are chosen, they always hated us. Set apart the mode, it's the Father's plan. Outcome written in stone, it's in the Father's hands. But I can thumb, never burn out. May the oil in my lamp never burn out. May the fires of my altar never burn out. Burn out, how it is my strength. Never burn out. Hey. Never burn out. Never burn out. Never burn out. Fire smooth stones. Never burn out. Yeah. I know who the boss is. I know who I work for. I am just a servant. Blessed to be in service. Set apart the mode. Inside me the greater work is. I know my purpose. Looking in the mirror, there the church is. Atonement for the sins I would never tell. Dust yourself off should you ever fail. Pharisees acting like they never fail. Millstone around your neck, kill yourself. New creature, kill the old man. Using your wisdom, you don't stand a chance. There's no change, no result. There's no light, food with no salt. Trees with no fruit, get chopped down. Tossed in the fire, there's no hanging around. Putting in work in these final hours, giving all praises to the highest power. Shalom. Never burn out. Pray the oil in my lamp never burn out. May the fires of my altar never burn out. Yahweh is my strength, never burn out. Yeah. Never burn out. You don't believe in the Most High, never burn out. Now's the time for you to never burn out. Yeah. Reprobate minds, they don't see the signs of the times. They can't even see that they blind. They don't even know that they slaves from the cradle to the grave. They think that everything is fine. Running to these churches, they listen to the doctrines of devils. Pastor took your money, bought that rolling ice bezel. Valley of dry bones, every move you make is so brittle. Talk real big, but know so little. Talk real tough, but you real soft. Feminine ways got you going off. Atonement for the sins you will never tell. Trying to hide, but we know you well. Reprobate minds I don't struggle with. Wisdom cry loud in the streets, ain't no time to sit. Nah, bro, no time for idle conversation. Rehearse righteous acts, how you make it. Yeah. Never burn out. May the oil in my lamp never burn out. May the fires of my altar never burn out. Yahweh is my strength, never burn out. Yeah. Never burn out. Never burn out. Yeah. Never burn out. Never burn out.
Shalom, shalom to the brethren. What up to everybody else? This is Y.S.W.O.T.S coming to you again. Y'all's Word on the Street podcast special report. We like to come before you to bring to you things that's need to be brought out. So, it's just one of the tools I use to bring forth information to my people. The most highest people, cause them to consider, cause them think about things they might not have thought about, cause them to see things they might not have seen. And today we're gonna be talking about a real sensitive topic. It's a real sensitive topic in the Negro community. You've seen the pastors with the big old pinky ring. You know, I got a big pinky ring, but it ain't no compass. It ain't no compass on this thing. You know what I'm talking about? It's tiger eye. But you got some of them. They got them rings with the compass on them. You know, they out here. They out here doing all kinds of stuff. You know, with these secret societies and making oaths and doing things. So, um, we got a video speaking about the details of it, how it got started, um, some of the things they've done in history that you might not have known that they was behind it, you know. But you about to find out a little bit of it today. Got a little short video we gonna watch, and I'm gonna pause it here and there. I'm gonna talk about it. It's only about 10 minutes long. Shout out to Set Apart Living. I would like to state the fact of I do not own the rights to this video. All rights reserved to its proper owners. This video is being used for educational and entertainment purposes. It is not for any kind of financial gain from those who own it. So shout out to Set Apart Living. I don't know if they actually own the video or if they're sharing it as well. But to whomever may have made it, Toda Ribab Yah for your diligence and your creativity in bringing this out. And it's just something that I came across. You may have seen the video, but I'm trying to show it to those that might not have seen it, so that they can. So all praise to the Most High. Thanks to the Son Yahushua Mashiach. We're gonna get right on into this thing, and I'm gonna have to mute my mic, and I'm gonna step on in the background in a second. Give me a second.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boy.
For most of our people, we are not prepped to the responsibility of secret society in the American society. And this founding constitution, this illegal criminal enterprise, was a Masonic affair. And a Masonry is a form of secret society. There are other well-known secret societies like Skull and Bones at Yale, of which this corrupt president and his father were members of. And it is that society that the Black society modeled itself after. So when they wrote their first history book, the History of Sigma Pi Phi, by a very noted Black author, university president, Charles Wesley, who wrote the history book for the Elks, the Prince Hall Masons, a National Council of Negro Women, Alpha Phi Alpha, and Sigma Pi Phi. And as a result, in there, in page 28 of the first history book, it noted that it wanted to be like Skull and Bones at Yale. It was right here in Los Angeles at the Good Life on a Friday night. If you remember this time, The NAACP had a convention here, and LeGrand Clique and Marla Gibbs were accused of making inflammatory statements.
Working with Dr. Graham's book, The Mannequin Line Motif.
Yes, that weekend, the Boule was meeting here, July of 1990. They were having their twice every other year convention, biannual. And it was a front page article in the LA Times by Karen Grigsby Gates, who denoted that these elite black men were meeting in Los Angeles at this time. That was the first. I remember sending someone to the car to bring it in, and we read it from the stage of the Boule on July 18th, the day the story appeared, front page LA Times. And I thought it was unusual that the LA Times knew of this society, and I didn't know of them. Now, for our audience to understand, I'm starting off trying to explain to black people the impact of international policy groups like the Trilateral Commission, the Council on Foreign Relations, when the bankers began to take over the American cities in the 70s, New York 75, Cleveland 77, Chicago 79, and here in California, they used Proposition 13 to suck up the surplus out the budget, and bankers began to take over from municipalities, the governing of the cities. And as I was scratching, I could not figure out how was there such black complicity in this centralization of worldwide power, the New World Order. It's on the dollar bill, pyramid by white men who never built one, never saw one, but they emulated the symbol. And now comes a series of societies, and now comes forth this black one in 1904. As we began to read deeper, it had another analogy in the story, The Skull and Bones. It wasn't until we got the history book that the analogy that looked happenstantial in the story in the LA Times was actually deeper in the actual history book where they drew attention to Skull and Bones. It denoted that W.B. Du Bois was a member, and it began to describe influential people in the present day society. And historically, our university, historically by college presidents, are primarily coming out of this. Our university, historically by college presidents, are primarily coming out of this. Our university, historically black college presidents, are primarily coming out of this. Advisors to the king. And that word, that Boule word, can be looked up in a encyclopedia. But now people don't use them; they use internet. And that's a dangerous thing, a dangerous dependency. But Boule, Boule, the Greek version. There's a French version that's a coming together, a conclave, the AKA called their convention, the Boule. But the Greek word is what we're looking for, the advisors to the king. The lower house of the Greek parliament is called Boule. And if you know the American congressional system, Senate 6 years, more power, authority, only 100, two per state. Congress 435 have to run every 2 years. Your lower house has less power and authority. So it appears as if, in finding the Boule, that within it was a subordination to something else. And in its history book, it drew attention. Here's a logo. And this is their logo is a Grecian sphinx. It's an animal. And this Grecian sphinx is similar to a griffin or a gargoyle. Kind of ironically, the Boule had their convention in Los Angeles in 1941. But where else? Griffin Park. And this logo, this symbol is a guardian animal. This would be similar to a Rottweiler or a dog or a German Shepherd. They tend to protect something higher than itself. There are 4 male societies, 4 female societies, and the Boule make the 9th one. So they're the first 1904 series, the Alphas. I'm not versed in the exact order, but I have all of their history books. And each of them draw attention to things where they got their ritual from. The Deltas draw attention to Freemasonry. Said our ritual came from Freemasonry.
I just want to, reiterate, man. You're seeing all of these celebrities and politicians and all these people that they put in our faces that many of us, or our parents or our grandparents held in high esteem. And these are people that are married, in covenant, in agreement with the very system that holds us down, the very system that has all these penitentiaries locking up black men, The very system that aids and funds these police forces that kill our black men. The very system that, red lines neighborhoods to where certain black people can't buy black homes, where banks give high interest rates and all of these things. The very same people that we look up to are the same people that's a part of all this. Look at how many people love LeBron James. You saw that tattoo on his chest. He don't have that tattoo on his chest for no reason. Look at Kamala Harris. Our people voted for Joe Biden partly because of Kamala Harris. Because he was going to quote unquote have a black woman serve with him. She's not, I don't even think she's black. She's married to a white man with white children. So, it really kind of frustrates me to even think about the magnitude of this. But I just really want to drive home this point of everybody that's of esteem, everybody that's of a high status is a part of this. That's what we're gonna have to realize. Nobody nobody gets to these heights without compromise. This American dream, this work hard and you could have anything you want mentality, that's a bunch of bullcrap. If you work hard at giving up your booty, you know, like that's the kind of stuff that comes behind the scenes with this stuff, man. But anyway, I'll get back to it.
Came from Mary Church Terrell, whose husband, Robert Terrell, was head of the Masonic Lodge in Washington, D.C. Mary Church Terrell, Mary Church, is the daughter of the first black millionaire in America, Robert Church of Memphis, Tennessee. Huge mausoleum to him there. Those societies, those four male, those four female, and the boule tend to make up a aristocracy. We talked in the park about the 10%, not in the sense of us in exclusivity, but them in the terms of deputizing 10% of the population to assure that the 90% never catch on. And this is on the rise on many of the campuses around the country. And many of those fraternities and sororities, like the American military, were finding reduced numbers. Questions of hazing and brutality. And see, that's an important thing about a secret society is the initiation or the ritual, which is an act of submission. I would never want anyone to underestimate when someone goes on that line and they beat them or they make them do things, unusual things, or ridicule them, that act is an act of submission. And that's very essential to keeping a secret society in order. How do you command that subordination? So for today, when they're on the campuses, they see the Boule. If you look to the Boule Journal, you can look up Sigma Pi Phi.
Another thing I wanted to point out when he talks about hazing and these acts of submission and s- subordination, right? What he's leaving out because it's a family show or whatever, and he's trying to have it kind of universal. A lot of these acts are homosexual in nature. It's a lot of nudity. It's a lot of handling genitalia. You know, I've seen you know videos of like them taking an egg yolk and putting it in one guy's mouth, and it goes and goes and goes down the line. Like a guy spits the egg yolk into another guy's mouth, and he spits it into another guy, into another guy. Like this is very very suspect, very fruit bootyish type deal. Letting men spank you on the behind with a paddle, or making you get naked and you know stand in a line and all. Like it's all just a bunch of real. you know the Greek culture was very, very homosexual and very much full of pedophilia. So you have to think when they're talking about pledging Greek, that's what they're pledging to uphold the Greek society. And the Greek society didn't really care for their women, man. The Romans and these people didn't care for their women. They wanted man butt. That's why they was out there wrestling. Greco-Roman wrestling. They out there naked wrestling, rubbing penises and balls together and stuff, man. I mean, for real, this is the kind of stuff these people do. And our people sitting here in order to get fame, in order to get fortune, in order to get a good job, in order to get power, they submit themselves to that. Sickening, man.
.net. You can hit up my website, stevecoakley.com, and then you can link into their website. You look at their Boule journal, you see what they play up. They're the head of everything. They're announcing every key position they have. They're the advisor. They're every person, every corporation. They're the black head of American Express. We can just walk on down the line of those that roles were theirs and only theirs. No one got past. I noticed the Harold Washington. Our black mayors were uniquely Boule, Andy Young when he was Atlanta, Dinkins when he was New York, Bradley when he was Los Angeles. We used to have one radio show came on WJPC.
Hold on. Did y'all see Louis Farrakhan? Did you see Louis Farrakhan? Hold on one second. Look at Louis Farrakhan. This man get on a microphone and talk about white people like they is the, dust of the earth. But yet here he is in a Greek fraternity. In a Greek fraternity, pledged in all his esteem. This is the epitome of cooning. People, it's crazy, man. I knew about this stuff, but it's like you be knowing stuff and then you kind of forget or you're not as exposed to it, but then you see a video and it's putting the pictures out there and showing them do their little signs and their little poses. It's just all over again, opening up a fresh wound.
When he was New York, Bradley when he was Los Angeles. We used to have one radio show came on WJPC, Johnson Publishing, who is Boule, Ebony Jet, etc. And Vernon Jarrett was the host of the show, who I didn't know was head of the Boule at that time. Chicago Tribune columnist, started AXO for the NAACP.
Another thing I want to point out, this stuff is also connected to masonry. When you hear about the Freemasons, you hear about, and then they try to include church and try to say God and Jesus, and they go back to Solomon Temple and all this old stuff. And don't be believing this stuff, man. Because just like he said about the hazing, about the acts of submission, they all got to go through it, and it all be some old fruit booty weird stuff. But people do it because just like um back in the day, they said, man, go to the army. They're gonna pay for your school. They're gonna pay for your Medicare. So you go, you sign up, you go through the boot camp and all the yelling and all the working out benefits that come with that. That's what they did in these secret societies. You know, you want a house, you want to get a good job, you want to get good health care, you want to get this, you want to get that. Go join these organizations and put up with whatever they're gonna make you put up with so you can get it. Same thing people do. They selling their soul, man. They selling their soul for riches, man. Just like just like Hamashiach went in the wilderness and the devil took him up on that high place and told him everything you see can be yours if you just but obey me. That's what they do. They tell them everything that could be theirs if they just obey. If you just take a little bit of penis in your booty, you can have this. You can have all that you want. You know, if you just put it in your mouth for a little while, you can have it. And they doing it, man. They doing it. The thugs, the goons, the people that you think will never do something like that, man. If you ain't got no morality, if if you're not seeking to serve the Most High Yah, if you're not renewing your mind and your heart unto righteousness, man, you will do it too. If you're not serving the Most High Yah, man, if you if you're not believing in the Son and being born again and coming out from the ways of the world, you will do it too. Because they gonna make it to where you ain't got no choice. So if your name is not written in the Lamb's book of life, you gonna bow your knee to the beast. Look at them. They bowed their knee happily, sticking their tongues out. Look at them. Damn shame, man. But it ain't nothing new. They did the same thing in the book of Maccabees. Book of Maccabees, chapter 1. If you ain't got it in your Bible, Google it. Talk about the same thing, dealing with the Grecians. They was actually in the land with the Greeks, or the Greeks was in our land. Same thing, people selling out, making fellowships, making covenants, agreements with these people, and taking on the ways of the heathen, man. Stuff get me mad, man. I'm finna play a video. It's all
ACP. And one day I called in and I was trying to explain some of this stuff, and he cut me off. He said, "We're not going to have any of that." I didn't know he was Boule. When I ended up becoming special assistant to the mayor, the other special assistant was Erwin France, who was head of model cities under Mayor Daley. He was an alpha like the mayor, they buddies, all of this and that. But I was a threat to him, but I didn't know at that time he was head of the Boule. And so I felt that as I began to get deeper into this relationship, I began to notice that my African centered friend,
The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border.
Not setting by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all.
that's that Maccabees I was talking about. But that's chapter 4. I was talking about chapter 1. And I think chapter 4 of the first Maccabees. Anyway, man, that's what it is. That's a y'all's word on the street podcast special report. You know, letting you know what it is, what it ain't, what it can't be. Hold on, sorry, trying to get this thing situated. But yeah, man, that that really kind of bothered me for real. It didn't throw me off. To be honest with you, but we got sellouts. This this is why judgment has to come forth, man, because this is the kind of stuff that people are getting away with, that people believe, people have said in their hearts, like the scripture said, they said in their hearts there is no God. They've said in their hearts that the Most High ain't watching them, that the Most High ain't gonna do nothing about what it is that they're doing, but they're wrong. They gonna pay for that fruit bootyism. They're gonna pay for selling out their people. They got to. They got to. Right. So anyway, that's what I got for y'all, man. I was hoping to get some brothers on the line with me. I sent links out so that people could join. Ain't nobody join. Ain't nobody join, but it's all right. Everybody probably sleep. I'm finna get to sleep myself. I just wanted to bring this out. I said that I would, and so that is what that is. So anyway, until next time, man, all praise to the Most High. Thanks to His Son Yahushua Mashiach. 12 tribes, one nation. Hallelujah.